I want to talk to you about SoFi versus LightStream versus Discover. So, if this year you want to really get a personal loan up to $100,000 and you're thinking about those three lenders, I want you to really follow this video from A to Z. Okay. So, here are the loans I want you to think about. I want to first start with SoFi. So, when you think about SoFi, I first want you to think about a neobank. So, SoFi is a fintech, is an online bank. So SoFi, beyond being a lender, is also an online bank. So they have actually checking and savings products that you can actually open. So in addition to actually getting a loan from them, you also have a possibility to actually have a checking account or savings account. Now the cool thing about SoFi is that they call their customers members. That really tells you a lot more about the sort of a mindset that SoFi has, the business model, and that's really fantastic. On top of that, SoFi is very generous in terms of the loans that they actually they'll grant you. SoFi will qualify you for a loan that goes all the way to $100,000. That's pretty high. You don't have a lot of lenders that actually can accommodate such a high loan. Very few. You have Wells Fargo, you have Lightstream, you have SoFi. Okay, and you also have another credit union that I can't really think of the name right now. But yeah, I think it's First Tech or Connexus. The good thing is that with SoFi, you have loan terms that go from 24 months to 84 months. So that's 2 years to 7 years. Minimum credit score about 600 to 620. In some cases, they will go all the way to 580. It really depends upon the state where you apply from. Okay, but loan amount goes from 5,000 all the way to $100,000. So SoFi is great because it has competitive rates. There are no required fees. You have a wide range of loan amounts, fast funding, and you are also able to to apply with a co-applicant. And so this is really fantastic. Okay, and what I want to say here is that when it comes to SoFi, you want to really understand that other than being at least the age of majority in your state of residence, you'll need to meet several other borrower criteria in order to be eligible for a SoFi personal loan. FICO score 600 to 620. You have to be employed. You got to be a U.S. citizen or have let's say a green card, or actually being in this country on a long-term visa. Once you meet those requirements, it's important to understand that there are certain loans, there are certain uses for which you can't use a SoFi loan. Like you can use a SoFi loan for repaying credit card debt, not a problem. For home improvement projects, not a problem. For vacations, for engagement and wedding expenses, for child adoption, or what have you, for even for debt consolidation, that's really fine. There are certain use cases where SoFi is actually barring you from using the funds for, okay, like for instance, for real estate investment. They do not want you to really use the cash they gave you for real estate investment or real estate speculation. You cannot use the funds for business expenses, for investments, for purchases of securities, let's say stock or bonds, for post-secondary education, for short-term bridge financing. So a lot of things you cannot really do with a SoFi loan, okay? But overall, you can really get a SoFi loan real fast, okay? And the cool thing is that if you are interested in a SoFi personal loan, you want to go through the soft pull process. In other words, you want to first try to pre-qualify with SoFi. You want to pre-qualify on their website or through the app, by the way, okay? And that's really good. Don't go for a hard pull right away, because otherwise you'll be just risking your FICO score for nothing, okay? Go through the soft pull and see how much they what kind of offers they will give you, and based on the offers, you can actually make a choice, okay? And but SoFi is great for all kinds of possibilities. One thing for sure, once you go through SoFi, don't forget that you have to go through the identity verification, the income verification, and also the proof of address verification. Okay, so government verification, I'm speaking here about having a passport or driver's license. Income verification, you might have to provide a recent pay stub or a W-2 to kind of give a SoFi an idea of how much you are earning. And proof of address can be met with utility bill, for instance. It can also be met with a lease agreement or a mortgage statement. I want to talk to you now about LightStream. So when you think about LightStream, I want you to think about a unit of the bank Truist Bank. Okay, Truist Bank is actually a merger. I mean, this bank came into being after a merger of SunTrust and BB&T. So now Truist is a pretty major regional bank. It's not a national bank per se. It doesn't have the same level as Chase or Wells Fargo or Citi or Bank of America. It is actually a regional bank similar to a PNC Bank, US Bank, TD Bank, Capital One, and so on and so forth. So LightStream actually is a unit, it's an online unit of Truist Bank. Okay, with LightStream you can borrow anywhere from $5,000 all the way to $100,000, kind of similar to the range that SoFi gives you. The only difference is that with LightStream you better have, let's say, good credit. That's number one. The other difference is that with LightStream you do not have the pre-qual possibility. In other words, you cannot actually have a soft pull through a LightStream. Okay, once you actually decide to go with LightStream, expect to have a hard pull right away. So that's why you have to be really clear as to what you want first. Okay, so but the cool thing is LightStream doesn't have origination fees, prepayment fees, or late fees. You have a loan that has low competitive rates, and you also have a fast approval and funding process. And in terms of repayment window, you're looking at a maximum of 12 years. So LightStream will give you 2 to 12 years to repay the loan. So that's really good. So overall, LightStream is great for you if you have if you want to first of all, if you have good credit, okay, minimum good credit, and you are trying to use the cash for a significant purpose. LightStream loans are available to borrowers in all 50 states, so that's really fantastic. Also, the District of Columbia, so that's really fantastic. You can use a LightStream loan for home improvements, land purchases, debt consolidation, medical expenses, wedding costs, preschool and K-12 expenses. Okay, and but there are certain use cases that you can really apply to a LightStream personal loan. For instance, refinancing any existing loan with LightStream or Truist, for that matter, Truist Bank. Fund a cash out refinance loan, refinance previous college or post secondary education loans, cover college or post secondary education loans, education expenses, fund business loans, purchase stocks or bonds, or even fund illegal activities. LightStream is not going to, let's say, condone those activities. So, how do you qualify for a LightStream personal loan? I just told you that LightStream doesn't have a pre-qualification process. There is no soft pull process. So, just be sure that before you actually contact LightStream, you have done your research as to your credit score. You have a clear idea about your credit score. You also meet the income requirements. Okay, so basically, you got to have a job, and you got to have a job for a certain time to actually establish the revenue aspect of things. If you don't qualify for any reason because your FICO score is low or your revenue is too little, you have to really wait, or you have to go to another lender. Why? Because LightStream does not allow co-signers. But if you are a prospective borrower, you can submit a joint application. So in contrast to some lenders, co-applicants don't need to live at the same address as the primary applicant. And prospective borrowers, such as you, must indicate at the beginning of the application process that they will be filing a joint application and provide details about both applicants in the online application. And what happens here is that LightStream will then weigh each applicant's credit, income, and other details equally when evaluating the application, and then make their decision from there. Okay, and by the way, you can also apply in the app. That's totally possible too. Okay, so when you think about LightStream, you want to make sure that you apply online or through the app. You have to specify the loan purpose, the amount and the term, the payment method, the personal and contact information, the employment information also, okay, to be able to see how far you want to go, and also current expenses, including monthly housing payments. That's important in terms of flexibility also. So that's really important to really keep in mind. If you are thinking about Discover, and this is the third letter I want to share with you into this conversation, Discover has relatively lower loan amounts. So with Discover, you're not getting a maximum of $100,000, but you're getting 40,000. Okay, and the lower range of a Discover personal loan is a 2,500. So you're looking at $2,500 to $40,000. Okay, and loan terms go from 36 months to 84 months. So you're looking at 3 years all the way to 7 years. That's pretty good, and the APR is kind of good too. You are looking at 8% to 25%. I mean, Discover is known as a pretty solid credit card issuer, but they also give personal loans. And by the way, Discover is also an online bank, so you can also think about establishing a checking relationship or even a savings account relationship with Discover. Okay, and the cool thing about Discover here is that there are no upfront fees. You have a pretty decent, I mean more than decent, pretty excellent mobile app, and you have repayment assistance through Discover. You have fast funding. You are able to go to Discover to ask them to pay the creditors directly. So that's kind of cool if you are trying to do a debt consolidation sort of process. And you do have like there is a steep late payment fee though, and it's $39. So don't really like create problems on that front. And the cool thing about Discover is that you have multiple repayment term options ranging from 36 to 84 months. Assistance program for eligible borrowers who are having trouble making payments. That's really good. And but long story short, with Discover, you got to have let's say a relatively high APR. You're looking at 600 all the way to 620, and in most cases, Discover wants you to have like 700 in FICO score. In terms of minimum annual income, 40,000. That's what, and this can be individual or household. So this is let's say the average Discover will want to work with $40,000, and the required documents when it comes to a Discover loan: personal invitation ID number, proof of household income such as tax returns, proof of employment, bank account routing and account number. Okay, if consolidating debt, your current creditor information, existing balances and account numbers, and you must have a valid email address and the ability to finalize your application online on a computer or mobile device. And you also got to have a physical address. So physical address is really important. And I'm not talking here about a virtual address though. It has to be a physical address. So when you think about a Discover loan, Discover also has the same restrictions that other lenders have in terms of what you can use their money for, what you can use the loan proceeds for, and what you cannot use it for. Okay, so basically, you can use a Discover loan for debt consolidation, home improvements and repairs, financial emergencies, car repairs, medical expenses, weddings, vacations, motorcycles and recreational vehicles, and small business funding. That's pretty interesting because Lightstream or SoFi, for instance, they don't want you to use their loan proceeds for small business funding, but Discover has no problem with that. Okay, Discover used to have used to offer, or used to provide, if you will, a small business loan, but they stopped that. They stopped that a little early before COVID. They stopped giving even they stopped issuing even small business credit cards. Now they're focusing more on B2C, like going after individuals. So you cannot use a Discover loan, by the way, for post-secondary education, for paying off secured loans, and or even for paying off Discover credit cards. Okay, this will be a tantamount to a cannibalization, and they're not going to cannibalize themselves. So this is important. To get a personal loan with Discover, you want to actually go through the pre-qual process. Thank God, pre-qual is actually available through Discover, not like Lightstream. Okay, so you want to pre-qualify for the loan. So basically, you want to see how much you can qualify for without hurting your credit score. That's really good from a flexibility point of view, but also from an affordability point of view. That's really fantastic. So once you get it, you get a list of offers from Discover. You can formally apply. You can formally apply through Discover and see how much you can qualify for. Okay, and of course, it's going to be maximum $40,000, minimum $2,500, and the APR will be capped at 25%. That will be the ceiling, if you will. Okay, and so one thing for sure, you also have the possibility to contact Discover via phone. You can phone the customer service and also go through like you can go through the loan underwriting process over the phone as opposed to online or via the app. So when you think about SoFi versus Livestream versus Discover, which one should you go for this year? Before I answer that question, let me give you the approach you need to follow when it comes to when it comes to choosing a personal loan this year. Okay, one thing for sure, you want to really look at accessibility. You want to look at the rates and terms. You want to look at the repayment experience. Those are important because when I speak about repayment experience, I'm speaking about the lender's rates, terms, amounts, and fees. Okay, you want to look at the transparency when it comes to things like APR. You want to think about flexibility in terms of the repayment window. And when I speak about rates and terms, it's not just about the APR that you are getting. It's things like origination fee. It's things like prepayment penalties. It's things like overdraft fees. Okay. And when I speak about accessibility, you got to really ask yourself whether or not you can get a loan real fast through a prequel, or you can get a loan without a prequel. So that's important because accessibility is going to help you if you are comparing and contrasting several lenders. I mean, a lot of times, if you are looking for a personal loan, you're not going for the first lender right away. You want to do a little bit of research, maybe scrutinize 5 or 10 lenders before choosing the one that you think is actually great for you. Okay, and that's going to help you big time. Actually, cultivate a relationship with the lender for, let's say, maybe for future loan relation. I mean, like future lender borrower relationships. So here's a selection here: SoFi versus Lightstream versus Discover. Which one should you go for this year? Well, our choice is very simple. You want to go for SoFi if you're looking for a large loan amount. SoFi is pretty flexible when it comes to loan amount. If you are looking for a lower loan amount, go with Discover. Discover is kind of cool because Discover gives you up to $40,000, and it has a pretty fast and streamlined loan process. But they only give you $40,000 maximum. If you want more, if you want all the way to $100,000, and you happen to have a relatively lower credit score, go with SoFi. Discover actually will give you a small loan amount, but they tend to require a slightly higher FICO score compared to SoFi. Now, Livestream is kind of cool, but Livestream has too many restrictions. On top of that, there is no pre-qualification process with Livestream. When you go with Livestream, you're getting a hard pull right away. So that's why we don't think this is the right loan for you this year, especially when you compare and contrast those three lenders. So, as a recap into this conversation, I spoke to you about SoFi versus Livestream versus Discover. I spoke about the loans, the approach, the selection, and now the recap. Thank you so much. God bless you. I see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.